So starting seated today, and begin by taking a deep breath in through your nose, releasing the breath with a sigh through your mouth. And if you haven't done so already, you can close down your eyes or lower and soften your gaze. And begin by slowing your breath down, deepening the inhalation, lengthening the exhalation. Just feeling expansion, contraction in the abdomen, the rib cage. Keep resting your awareness on your breath. Feeling your mind settle, your body settle. Feeling yourself becoming more and more present here on your mat for your practice. So now we are going to add a breath retention here, and I'll let you know what you're going to do first. You'll begin by starting the inhalation, expanding the abdomen, and then pause just for a moment. Continue your inhalation, expanding the rib cage, again pause, and then complete your inhalation, expanding the upper chest, and then retain your breath for as long as you want. It could be 5 seconds, it could be a minute. But while you're retaining the breath, go through 4 kind of parts of a breath retention. That moment where maybe it feels kind of nice or interesting to hold the breath, when it transitions into kind of you have a pretty neutral feeling about it, to the point where it becomes a little challenging, but you're still okay to stay with the breath retention, to the point where it becomes challenging and unpleasant, and you know you want to exhale. See if you can find each of those places as you retain your breath. After your breath retention, you're exhaling completely and then beginning again. So you can start this in your own time. 3-part inhalation with a little pause in between, feeling the belly expand, the rib cage, and the upper chest. And then you're retaining your breath for as long as you want or short. When you've had enough of holding your breath, exhale completely. Do this another 2 times. It's just noticing these parts while you're retaining your breath. Kind of the newness, the interest, the neutral feeling, the challenge, but you still feel you can stay there even within the challenge, and the unpleasant discomfort when you know it's time to come out. When you have completed your rounds, there's no rush, rest your hands on your legs and just come back into a comfortable rhythm of breath. Comfortable inhalation, exhalation, that steady, smooth and even rhythm of your breathing. And that noticing that you did during your retention today, we're going to take it throughout the class. Our practice today is going to work on a moon sequence, a moon salutation sequence, as opposed to the sun salutation. And in the moon salutation, we'll be staying in postures for a little bit longer. So you'll be able to experience the newness, the interest of the pose, The feeling, okay, I've been, neutral, feeling a bit challenging, and actually you don't want to be there anymore. And it could be that you go straight to the fourth one and then you come out of the pose, or it could be that the third, the fourth one, you don't even reach to that place, but just noticing, experiencing what the feeling is in the posture. We'll stay seated today, resting the hands beside the body, starting with combining movement with breath. On your inhalation, lift the arms up above your head. And as you exhale, hands slowly coming down. Interlacing the fingers behind your back. Inhale, gently squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift your upper chest, lift your chin. And on your exhalation, release. One more of these, inhaling, lifting your arms up, working with your breath. Might be faster or slower than me. Exhaling, hands slowly coming down, fingers together, or you could have your arms parallel behind you. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift your chest, lift your chin, and exhale to relax. From here, rest your right hand on the ground. If you've got a block and it feels better to do so, it could be on the block as well. On your inhalation, left hand reaches up to the ceiling, and then as you exhale, up and overhead, side bend to the right. Try to drop the right shoulder down. Let the right elbow drop down. You can relax your right ear towards your right shoulder. On your inhalation, lifting the arms back up again. And exhaling, left hand comes down to the ground. Inhale to reach that right hand high up towards the ceiling, creating length. Keep that length as you exhale, up and overhead, side bend to the left. See if you can avoid the left shoulder right up by your ear. Relax your left shoulder down. On your inhalation, lifting the arms back up again. And exhaling, hands coming back down. Take your left hand outside the right leg. Right hand comes behind. Inhale, feel yourself sitting tall. And then as you exhale, spinal twist to the right. Try to have an equal length on both sides of your torso. So notice if you're bending or twisting or doing something like that, try to keep the spine long and the twist, feeling it in the thoracic part of the spine. From here, keeping your left hand on your left knee, on your right knee. On your inhalation, right hand reaches up to the ceiling, and exhale, side bend to the left. It's kind of a side bend with a twist. Your inhalation coming back up again, and then releasing from the twist on your exhalation. We'll do the same thing, other side, right hand outside left knee, left hand behind. Inhale to sit up tall, and then exhale, exploring into this spinal twist on this side. If there's any discomfort in your lower back, any tweakiness, what little adjustments can you make so that that's not there? And can you notice any of those 4 things I asked you to observe in your breath retention? When you first come into the posture, it's like, oh, it feels really nice, or it's interesting. You're there a while, you become a bit neutral about it. Does it go into a place where it begins to feel more challenging, or does it stay in a different place? And then reaching the left hand up towards the ceiling as you exhale, side bend over to the right. But it's sort of side bend over that right leg. Inhaling to come back up again. And exhale, release from the twist. You can roll the shoulders a bit. bring your knees together and your feet together, and then drop the knees open to the side, soles of the feet together. You can choose to bring the heels close to your body or a bit further away. That's your choice. Hands come behind your back to start with. On your inhalation, sitting up tall, feeling this broadening across the front, the top of your chest. Also have that feeling of the pelvis slightly tilting forward as you press your hands into the ground. You can bring your chin towards your chest. Now you can keep your hands behind or take the hands onto the ankles. And again, because you're feeling what this feels like for you, if there is enough of sensation and even challenge in the posture with the hands behind or on the ankles, that's fine. And if you want to, you can explore a little forward fold over the legs. Try not to do this with a big rounding of your back. Keep the spine long, almost like the chest is reaching forward and down. On your inhalation, coming back up again, and then bring your knees back together. Take your hands behind, feet and knees a little wider. This is the position of the inhalation. Exhalation, knees coming down to one side. Your inhale lifts them back up, and your exhale takes the knees to the other side. We'll do one more time each side, inhaling to lift the knees, exhaling, knees down, inhaling to lift, and exhaling, knees down. Coming back up again, stretch your legs forward in front of you. Now keeping your hands behind, open the right leg and the left leg. Don't need to go for the widest position ever. Let the legs land wherever they land. It's probably going to be a V shape unless you're super flexible. Hands coming again behind your back. Same thing as we just did. Lengthening through the spine, broadening across the shoulders. Could be that you're leaning a bit more back into the hands here. Trying to have that slight forward tilt of the pelvis. Flex your ankles. And as before, you can keep hands behind. Or if you want, you can take the hands forward. And also you can choose whether you would like to walk your hands further forward. This is quite near the start of the practice, so I haven't really done a lot of work to warm up and engage these inner legs, the backs of the legs just yet. So don't push it too deeply. Just be observant of what's going on. If there's challenge, if it's getting into the place of, oh, this is really becoming uncomfortable and I want to come out or I want to adjust. All the time, steady, smooth and even breath. That connection with your breath. Leaning back into the hands again, and then bring your legs back together. You can bend your knees, give your knees a little hug. And then let's come into our tabletop position. The wrists are under the shoulders, knees are roughly under your hips. From here, on your inhalation, you'll tilt the pelvis, let your tummy reach down to the ground, chest reaching forward and lift your chin. And on your exhalation, gently rounding the back, chin coming towards your chest. You're really in control of this movement. Inhale, arching your back. And exhale, this gentle tucking of the tailbone under, rounding the back, expanding between the shoulder blades, chin to chest. On your inhalation, come back into tabletop position and then step your right foot forward between your hands, pressing the foot and the shin firmly down, squeezing around the sit bones, the muscles and the glutes, lift the arms up. Have that feeling again, little downward, little backward tilt of the pelvis this time. So not arching in the back as you're doing this, but tailbone down, lower belly lifts. Rest your right hand on your right thigh. On your inhale, left hand reaches up to the ceiling. Exhale, little side bend to the right. On your inhalation, coming back to center, hands coming onto your waist. And then walk that right foot forward, straighten the right leg out. You can choose, this is different for different people, either the heel on the ground or the foot flat to the ground. So that will be your choice, what feels nice for the front of your ankle, the back of your ankle. On your inhalation, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, folding forward, just to the point where you feel something in the back of your leg. And then from here, what I want you to do is bend the right leg, try and tighten the muscle in the hamstrings of the right leg, like you're flexing your muscles. Keep that engagement of the muscle and then straighten the leg out again. So now we are strengthening while lengthening. On your inhalation, coming back up again. And then exhaling, you're bringing yourself back into tabletop position. Send hips back towards heels, arms down, head down, and relax. Maybe today you might want to take the knees a little wider in this balasana, child's pose. Again, it's your choice. So knees could be wide or knees together. Next inhalation, you're back to tabletop position. This time stepping the left foot forward between your hands. Again, that same pressing down to the ground, engaging the glutes, and lift your arms up. Rest your left hand on your left thigh this time. Right hand reaches up to the ceiling. On your exhalation is a side bend to the left. Inhaling, coming back to center, hands onto your waist. This time we're straightening out the left leg. Again, heel to the ground or the foot flat to the mat. Inhale to lengthen through the spine. Exhale, folding forward. You could actually have your hands on the ground or even on your blocks here. But now here I'm going to get you to, again, bend this left knee. Try to tighten the hamstring muscle on the left side. And keeping it tight, again, straightening out that left leg. On your inhalation, coming back up again and back into tabletop position. From here, walk your hands as far forward as you can. The hips will roughly stay over the knees. Let your forearms come down to the mat, forehead, and on an exhalation, have the feeling of your upper chest releasing down towards the ground. For some people, they prefer to have the chin rather than the forehead on the ground. You can try both, choose which one feels better. And again, if there's discomfort around the shoulders, try bending the elbows or taking the hands behind your head. Equally, if you've gone straight into that fourth category of the different things I asked you to look out for, where it just feels not nice at all, you can always skip postures in the yoga practice. You don't have to do everything. That could even be from week to week, it's different. On your inhalation, back to tabletop position. And then come to stand up. So we are going to do today, instead of doing sun salutations, we're going to do the moon salutation sequence, Chandra Namaskar. Chandra Namaskar starts with one movement to the left, and it does, sorry, I'll try that again. My left and my right is not there today. One movement to the right, and then we do a sequence of movements on the right side, and then we do everything on the left side in the opposite order, and we end up back where we started again, but on the left side. We also use the mat, we use the width of the mat rather than doing forward folds and back folds. We're more in this wide leg position with side bends. Have your block. If you have two blocks, you can put one either side, but if you only have one, make sure your block is on the right side of the mat. We'll start with feet together, hands alongside the body. On your inhalation, bringing the palms together above your head. And as you exhale, side bend to the right. Each posture that we are entering into, we're going to stay here for a little bit of time. So this side bend, see if it feels better to start to squeeze the muscles in your glutes. Notice if you need to come a little bit out of the posture. Make sure that you're still able to breathe. Your inhalation, coming back to center, separate the hands, palms face forward. You can toe heel or step the feet wider. The toes are pointing to the corners. As you next exhale, bend your knees, bend your elbows. A little bit squeezing the shoulder blades together. Every time we come into a posture, try to find a steady gaze point straight ahead. And if possible, have that not the screen, because we're staring at screens enough. You've got a wall in front of you, find just one spot on the wall. If there's a window, maybe there's a plant or something outside. Steady breath. Feeling how this feels in your body. On your inhalation, straighten the legs, stretch your arms to the side and turn both heels out. Now the toes are all pointing forward. Have the feeling of the fingers stretched wide and you're trying to touch both walls at the same time. Pressing into the outer edges of the feet, lifting the inner legs. The legs are stretched here. Taking your hands onto your waist, now turning the right toes out. With your hands on your waist, you can slightly turn the hips towards the right corner and then rest your right hand on your block, which is just behind your right foot. Left hand on your left hip bone. Sometimes I like hold my trousers and then try to lift my hip bone up towards the ceiling. Probably you feel stuff here when you do that. Now, if this creates discomfort in your back, drop the hip back down again. So you're adjusting to the points that feels okay. And when you're ready, you have the option of lifting left hand to the ceiling. Trikonasana, triangle pose. You're choosing whether to look down, straight, or up. Steady breath. Experiencing the posture. By the way, totally okay to have a bend in that right knee. That little adjustment might go from it being super challenging to being okay here. On your next exhalation, take your left hand down to the ground. You're framing your right foot. Swivel the left toes, left knee comes down to the ground. Untuck the toes. Next inhalation, arms reach to the ceiling. On your exhalation, hands back down to the ground, tuck those left toes under, lift your knee. Maybe you want to bring the foot a little closer. Going to flatten the left foot to the ground again and windmill your arms open and out to the side. Now the hips are pointing, facing towards the long edge of the mat. Right knee bent, left leg stretched. You can look towards the right hand. On your exhalation, straighten your right leg. Hands will come palms together in front of your chest. Turn the right toes in and toe heel your feet closer to each other. We're coming into Malasana, which is a squat. So different people prefer different things for their feet. It can be parallel. It could also be with the toes a little bit open. And really this depends on your hips, what your hips prefer. So you may need to adjust here as you do this. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, send your hips down towards the ground. Now, you could be doing like me, somewhere between quarter and a half squat, or you could be sending the hips all the way down toward the ground. You choose which one is feeling okay for the knees, for the hips, for the back. If you're quite low, maybe your elbows can rest on the insides of your knees. Keep trying to straighten your back. And your inhalation coming all the way back up again. If the block is you only have one block on one side, just move it to the other side now. And then toe heel the feet wide. This time the left toes will be turning to face towards the left, right toes pointing forward. Big breath in. As you exhale, bend your left knee, stretch the arms out to the sides. Now we're going through everything on the left side in the reverse order. On your next exhalation, windmill your arms down to the ground to frame your left foot. Swivel the right toes, right knee comes down to the ground, untuck the toes. Inhale to lift the hands to the ceiling. You have option here actually of bringing the palms together, lifting the upper chest, slightly lifting your chin. On your exhalation, the hands coming back down to the ground. Tuck your right toes under, lift the knee. Might want to hop that right foot closer to the left, flatten the foot. Your block, left hand is now on your block, which is outside your left foot. Take your right hand to your right hip and start to lift the right hip up towards the ceiling, potentially straightening your left leg. And then the right hand comes up to the ceiling, coming into Trikonasana. It's a bit of a transition to go from a lunging position to this Trikonasana. So it may very well be you need to make an adjustment with the position of the feet. Take a little bend into your left knee, press the left foot down, lift the body up, arms stretching out to the side. Turn the left toes to face forward. Both legs are now straight. Arms reaching out to the sides. On your inhalation, lift the hands to the ceiling, palms facing forward. Turn both heels slightly in, and maybe you want to toe heel the feet even closer together. As you next exhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows. On your inhalation, straightening the legs, palms together above your head. Bring your feet all the way back together. And as you next exhale, side bend to the left. On your inhalation, back to center. And exhale, hands down and relax. We made it all the way around. Hopefully didn't forget anything. So we're going to do the whole thing again. So now you have a bit of an idea of where we're going from place to place. But on this second round, I'm going to add in some little extras along the way, maybe different things to do with the arms or adding in a twist or a balance. So we'll add in a couple of extras along the way. Again, make sure prop is to the right side to begin with. And again, we start with the feet together, hands alongside the body. On your inhale, palms together above your head. Exhale, side bend to the right. It's the second time you do this. So, does it feel the same? Does it feel different? Inhalation back to center. Separate the hands, palms facing forward. Step the feet a bit wider. Your next exhalation, bend the knees, bend the elbows. From here, take the right elbow over the left. Either hands to your shoulders, V shape, or start to bring the palms towards each other. Just notice if you can drop your right shoulder down a little bit. This is an interesting one because now you've added, potentially, lots of sensations around the shoulders, and that can sometimes change your experience of the posture in terms of what's going on in the legs. On your inhalation, straightening the legs, release your arms. Arms stretched to the side, turning both heels out. From here, curling the fingers into a fist, palms on the outsides. Inhale, standing tall. Exhale, drop the knuckles down towards the ground. Release the hands, hands coming onto your waist. Turn the right toes out. You can slightly turn the hips towards the right corner. Rest your right hand on your block, which is outside the right foot. You can see how it feels to lift the left hip up towards the ceiling. And then there's this kind of rotation in the upper part of your spine. And then you're reaching the left hand up towards the ceiling. This time, see if you can feel, instead of rounding the right side of your body, see if you can create a bit of length through that right side of your body. So rather than looking like this, you're trying to find length through the right side of your body. Again, you could see if bending your knee makes a difference to that. On your next exhalation, that left hand comes down to the ground, swiveling on your left toes, but this time as an option, keep the knee off the ground. Left hand presses into the mat. Next inhalation, right hand reaches up towards the ceiling. This is a spinal twist to the right. Now, obviously, if this is kind of not feeling great and you prefer a bit more stability, then see if it feels better to have that left knee on the ground. On your exhalation, the right hand comes back down. If you have brought the knee down, tuck the toes under, lift the knee up, and then turning to flatten your left foot to the ground, windmilling the arms open to the side. This is not part of it, but I'm just going to hop away from my wall a bit. So from here, again, taking the hands to the waist, especially the left hand to your left hip. And the right hand is going to reach down for your block, and you can move your block significantly forward in front of that right toe. Maybe hop the left foot closer to the right. We're coming into Ardha Chandrasana. So transition the weight into your right foot. And then if it feels okay, straighten the right leg. So you're making sure that your shoulder is above your wrist. If it's too much like this, it is very difficult to balance. So you need to have it enough forward. And then if it's feeling okay, the balance is there, you can start to lift the left leg, maybe lifting the left hip up. Hand can remain on your waist or can reach up towards the ceiling. On your exhalation, hand back to the waist, bend your right knee, guide the left foot back down to the ground and lift your body up. Palms together in front of your chest. Let's just step the feet closer together. We're a bit out of line. Deep breath in. On your exhalation, send the hips down, coming into Malasana. This is the second Malasana. It might feel different to the first. You're choosing how low the hips go. Steady breath. Noticing what your experience is in this posture. On your inhalation, coming back up again. Remember to collect the block. Turn the right heels out. Left toes fully pointing towards the left. Right hand on your waist. Little bend into your left knee. The block on the ground quite significantly in front of that left foot. Again, taking the weight into your left foot, lighten the right. And then if you're feeling like the balance today, straighten your left leg. Right leg can start to lift up, lift the right hip up, opening the chest, arm reaching up towards the ceiling if you wish, or you could keep it on your waist. And then bending the left knee, right foot comes back down again, lifting the body up, arms stretching out to the side. Now, for me, I need to take my feet a little bit wider. You may need to adjust what the position of the feet is. We're bending the left knee, the toes of the right foot are pointing forward, lifting the inner leg, pressing into the outer edge of the foot. On your next exhalation, windmilling the hands down towards the ground and swiveling on your back foot on that right toe. Now you might need to adjust where it is so that the legs aren't in a strange crossed position. With knee lifted or on the ground, left hand. This hand is on the ground. On your inhalation, lifting the back arm up towards the ceiling, spinal twist. On your exhalation, hand coming back down to the ground. I suggest you hop the back foot a bit closer to the front and then flatten the foot to the ground, transitioning into our Trikonasana. So block is on the outside of that left foot. Right hand to your hip. Start to lift the right hip up towards the ceiling. Also the body opens out, arm reaching up towards the ceiling. Same thing on this side, seeing if we can lengthen the left side of the torso. Taking a little bend into your knee, left knee. On your inhalation, lifting the body up, arms out to the side, turn the left toes to face forward. From here, hands into a fist, big breath in, and on your exhalation, dropping the knuckles down towards the ground. Opening the hands again, turning the heels in, maybe bringing the feet closer. Inhaling, reaching the hands up towards the ceiling. Exhaling, bending the knees, bending the elbows. Taking the left elbow over the right elbow, palms coming together or V-shape or hands on your shoulders. See if you can drop the left shoulder down. Straightening both legs, releasing the arms, reaching the arms to the ceiling, palms together. Bring the feet all the way back together again. On your next exhalation, side bend to the left. On your inhalation, coming back to center. Exhale, hands down. Circling into your shoulders. And then bring your feet together. Arms can just rest down beside your body. Close your eyes for a moment. And sway your weight back into your heels. And then gently sway your weight forward into the balls of your feet. Just feel how the weight distribution changes as you go back and as you go forward. And then feel what happens when you take the weight more into your right foot. And then swaying so that you take weight more into your left foot. Again, over to the right. And over to the left. And then move in any old direction. Feel weight moving about, changing between the fronts and the backs of the feet, right side, left side. And then try to settle the weight so that there's an even distribution throughout both feet. From here, feel the transition of weight into the balls of the feet, lightening the heels, and then lift your heels off the ground, lifting them as high as they'll go. So next exhale, with control, lowering the heels back down to the ground again. Take the weight back into the heels. Again, swaying the weight forward to the balls of your feet, lifting the heels up. Next exhalation, weight, heels lower to the ground, and bring the weight also back into the heels. Now from here, transition the weight into your left foot completely. Lift your right knee up. With your left hand, hold your right knee. I'm showing the option of foot lifted, but this could equally be done with still weight in the left foot, but the toes resting on the ground, hand outside the right thigh. Right hand reaches in front. On your exhalation, hand open to the side, and then towards the back of the room. So the knee is reaching forward, the arm is reaching back. It's a spinal twist to the right. Squeezing muscles around the left sit bone, feeling support down the left side of your leg, of your hip. On your exhalation, releasing from the twist. And then with control, take your right foot back down to the ground. Transition all the weight into the right foot. And this left leg, this time externally rotate it. So we're not doing exactly the same on each side. You can choose toes on the ground, foot against the inside lower leg, or foot against the inside upper leg. That's your choice. Palms together in front of your chest, squeezing the muscles around the right sit bone. Now, slowly, slowly, taking that left knee to point forward, and keep the weight on the right foot. Right hand holding the left knee. You know the alternative? The other option is toes on the ground. It's doing the same. This is all about more weight being in the right foot. Left hand opens to the side and towards the back of the room. The spinal twist to the left, but with more weight in your right foot. On your exhalation, release from the twist. The left foot comes down to the ground, and again, you're gonna, with control, take all the weight into the left foot, lighten the right foot, turn the right leg out. Toes to the ground, foot against your lower leg, or foot against your inside upper leg. Palms together in front of your chest. Just notice what's going through your mind. Where are you in terms of experience in this particular posture? And then pointing the right knee forward with control, it comes back down to the ground. And this time, taking 50% of the weight back into that right foot. See if you can find equal distribution of weight in both feet. And now we'll come to the top of the mat. As you inhale, reach your hands up towards the ceiling. Exhaling, forward fold, hands coming down towards the ground. Now you can either rest your hands on the ground, head is loose, or you can rest your hands on your shins or your thighs. Take a bend into your knees so you can reach the ground. And then coming into tabletop position. From here, on your inhalation, left hand opens to the side. As you exhale, left hand behind right wrist, keep reaching to the right. Left shoulder and cheek resting on the ground. You can just find a comfortable place for your right arm to rest. The hips are roughly stacked above the knees. Now, this doesn't feel great for everybody. An alternative here is from tabletop position, dropping the left elbow to the ground and resting the left forearm to the mat, looking to the right. On your inhalation, coming back up to tabletop position. And then the same thing on the right side, right arm opens to the side. As you exhale, right hand behind left wrist, keep reaching to the left. The right shoulder and cheek comes to rest on the ground. And our other option is the right elbow dropping down to the ground, resting the right forearm to the ground, looking to the left. More inhalation, come back up to tabletop position, and then come and sit down on the ground. So hands resting on the ground behind you, legs stretched in front of you. Going to do that same wide leg position again. Open the right leg, open the left leg to the side. And the hands are behind your hips again, on your inhalation, lengthening through the spine. Now, it may feel different this time, but it may not as well. It may feel exactly the same as it did the last time. So there's a wonderful yoga teacher who, when he wears a t-shirt that says, "I don't know," when he's doing teacher training or when he's training students. And every time a student said, am I supposed to be feeling this here? Or is this supposed to feel like this? He would just point at his t-shirt and say, "I don't know, because I don't live in your body." We can all do one posture and we all feel it in a completely different way. We have a different experience of it. Now, you may want to take the hands in front. You may want to start to walk the hands forward. So you're deciding where you are here. Just experiencing what's going on for you. Then leaning a bit back into your hands, bring the legs together again. Bending the knees, feet and knees wide. Inhale in this position. Exhale, drop the knees to the right. Inhaling back to center. Exhale, drop the knees to the left. Coming back up to center. And then come to lie down on the mat. Last posture today is going to be your choice, but I'll give you a few options. Whatever you choose, it's going to be lying flat on the mat. You can choose to have the knees bent, feet flat to the ground, arms resting to the sides. You might also like to choose soles of the feet together, knees open. Or you might like to choose to dangle the legs up towards the ceiling. There's been a lot of standing on our feet today. So choose one of these options. Equally, you might want to already come into Shavasana. If that's what your body is asking for, go for it. You're either here, or legs up, or already in your Shavasana. And you've got about 1 minute here. You have time to try them all out, choose the one that you fancy doing today. And actually, if you've chosen to do something completely different, that's also okay. And this is our final posture before Shavasana, before our final relaxation. So hopefully you've chosen something where your experience is less in the super challenging end, where it's feeling quite uncomfortable, or you can only be there for a limited amount of time. Hopefully you've chosen something that feels comfortable. And now from here, slowly coming out of that posture that you chose, and come to lie on the ground. Legs can be stretched or knees bent. If your arms are to the side, see how it feels to have the palms facing up. So we are drawing the shoulder blades slightly towards each other. Take time to adjust, to fidget, until you find the place that your body just feels really comfy. And then take a deep breath in. Sigh your breath out. Let the breath return to a very natural rhythm, which may be different to how you have been breathing during the practice. With each exhalation, feel your body relax, release, let go a little bit more. Relaxing the jaw, the muscles in your face. Relaxing your tummy. Feeling your whole body completely relax. And for the next couple of minutes, there is nothing that you need to do. And your mind can also relax. Your mind is not busy moving your body about. So it can also completely relax. That doesn't mean that thoughts aren't meandering about in your mind. That's okay. The mind can do what it wants, but you don't need to concentrate on particular thoughts. Let your mind relax. Let your body relax. Completely relax. Now slowly, slowly start to deepen your breath again. Take your time feeling yourself coming back into your body, having a sense of the space around you, time of the day. And then start to move your fingers, move your toes. And when you're ready, you can bend your knees, roll over to your side and come and sit up again. And we'll finish our class, palms together. Take a deep breath in. Gentle sigh out. Just notice how you feel right now. And say some nice words to yourself. To give yourself a little thank you for in your day-to-day finding time for your practice. And from me to you, thank you so much.